Welcome to Sewing Anastasia, and today we are going to talk about the open toe presser foot and how to use it and why I find it so useful. We're going to go over 3 things that I like using this foot for today. 1 is putting on a decorative trim, 2 is creating decorative stitches or satin stitches for an applique, and 3 is actually applying the stitches to the edge of a patch or perhaps the edge of an applique. So here's what the foot looks like, and you'll notice that it has a much larger opening in between the 2 legs here on the side of the foot. This is going to allow us to really see what we're sewing, and it's going to allow us to get some trims under this foot. It's going to allow us to do some decorative stitches and being able to see them, because if we look at the regular foot, you'll see that we have this big metal piece here in the middle, obstructing our view of what it is we're sewing directly on. So this foot here is really open in the middle, allowing us to see everything. And if we flip them over, you're going to notice that we have a much bigger cut out here in the bottom of the foot to allow thicker trims and stitches to go under the foot smoothly. And on the regular foot, we have no cutout here in the back. Real quick, before we start, if you guys want to learn way more about sewing and techniques, make sure you check out my online sewing school. There's going to be a link for that down below in the description. And if you've been enjoying my videos, please make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a lot. The first technique I'm going to show you is applying some trim to the fabric. So when we put this foot on, you'll notice that the trim is going to fit really nice under this foot, and then we'll be able to sew down this nice and smooth. And best part, we can see exactly what we're sewing because of the open toe on this foot. I have my foot on and I have my trim positioned in the center of the foot, and I've also selected a decorative stitch to sew this on with, so that way I'm going to be able to see exactly what it's going to look like with this open toe foot. And I'm just going to guide it. We're just going to continue all the way down the trim. And you can see how nicely this trim is feeding into the machine. Now that we're done, I will back stitch and let's take a look at it. So this trim sewed on the fabric nice and smooth, no puckering, no trouble seeing it because we had that wide open toe foot and it's clear. And the decorative stitch I chose to put right over the trim went on super smooth. And this here is the back of the trim. You can really see the decorative stitch that I added on top of it. And it's nice and smooth, no puckering, no pulling, went on great. Now let's talk about sewing something that has super fine detail and you need to be close to that edge, but you can't see it because you got that big ol' A foot in the way. Well, this open toe foot is gonna help us. So you can see when I have the A foot on here, it's covering the little spot where the needle is going to be, and it's kind of hard to see what's coming up next. But if we go ahead and put on that open toe foot, we can see everything. And that's going to give us a lot more control, and our project is going to turn out so much nicer because we can see exactly what's coming up. So I'm going to be using a straight stitch to sew right next to this little miniature design of lace all the way around in a circle. And this open toe foot is going to allow me to see right where that needle is going to be. And I'm using a contrasting blue thread so you guys can see exactly where I'm stitching. I'm going to back stitch like normal, and then we are finished, so we can take a look at this. If we take a look at this lace applique, you can see that single stitch that carefully went all the way around right below that scallop. Now you could have done a little zigzag stitch, but I wanted to do the straight stitch and the contrasting thread to really show you how precise you can get while using that open toe foot. Now we're going to use that open toe foot to create some really thick and heavy satin stitches, and then we'll try some decorative stitches out. So I have a piece of cotton and I have a piece of interfacing behind it, reinforcing it. So the really great thing about using this foot with decorative stitches is because it has this wide opening here in the open toe foot and it's clear, we can really follow any curvy or kind of crazy lines way easier than with the bee foot. First up, I'm going to be using a decorative stitch. I'm going to follow this line that I drew and you're going to see how easy this is with this open toe foot. Look at how amazing that is. And you don't even see any of that purple line on the outside because I was able to follow it precisely. Now on this next line, I'm going to be using a medium width satin stitch. So think about adding this to an applique or creating some letters or something like that. And we're just going to follow this line with that little spot on the foot. And we're going to get a beautiful curve. And look how beautiful our satin stitch is. We covered that purple line and it has a nice even stitch and it flowed beautifully. So we used this little open toe foot in all of these techniques here. And it really helped us out versus using the regular A or B foot. Again, it's got that opening in the front. It is clear, it's nice and wide, and on the back, it's got that cutout that is just gonna glide over the stitches and the thick trims and everything really nice. So if you don't have one of these feet yet, consider adding it to your box of sewing tools. So next time you need to sew something like a trim or a satin stitch, it's going to be that much easier for you. It's always nice to find those tools that make sewing just that much nicer. And if you have one of these feet, I would love to know what you use it for. Leave it down below in the comments and share it with everyone else. And if you don't have one of these feet yet and you do want one, I'll leave a link down below in the description so that way you can easily find one for your sewing machine. Thanks so much for watching today. If you guys have any questions, leave it down below in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe to Sew Anastasia. Hit that notification bell so you know when those new videos come out. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for watching today. These videos are for you guys. And don't forget, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram and all the socials so that way we can stay connected and creative together. And I'm always posting what's going on in the studio every day in my Instagram stories, so make sure you check that out too. And if you're in Chicago, come on into my design studio and take some sewing classes with me. They're a lot of fun. And if you're not here, that's okay. We have an online sewing school now, so make sure you check that out too. Links for everything will be down below in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!